Hi there. Welcome back to our next amazing session on Advanced Java or J2EE, it is called Java Enterprise Edition. In this course we would learn about making web applications, like websites, web services etc. Before this, in this session we are going to discuss about different web terminologies used in creating web services. So let's start this session on web terminologies. Our first topic in this session is websites. Website is a collection of related web pages that may contain text, images, audio and video. The first page of a website is called homepage. Each website has specific internet address, URL, that you need to enter in your browser to access a website. Website is hosted on one or more servers and can be accessed by visiting its homepage using a computer network. A website is managed by its owner, that can be an individual, company or an organization. Website can be of two types: static, or dynamic. Now let's have a look on static websites. Static website is the basic type of website that is easy to create. You don't need web programming and database design to create a static website. Its web pages are coded in HTML. The codes are fixed for each page, so the information contained in the page does not change and it looks like a printed page. Dynamic websites. Dynamic website is a collection of dynamic web pages whose content changes dynamically. It accesses content from a database or content management system, CMS. Therefore, when you alter or update the content of the database, the content of the website is also altered or updated. Dynamic website uses client-side scripting or server-side scripting, or both, to generate dynamic content. Client-side scripting generates content at the client computer on the basis of user input. The web browser downloads the web page from the server and processes the code within the page to render information to the user. In server-side scripting, the software runs on the server and processing is completed in the server, then plain pages are sent to the user. Our next topic is HTTP. The Hypertext Transfer Protocol, HTTP, is application-level protocol for collaborative, distributed, hypermedia information systems. It is the data communication protocol used to establish communication between client and server. HTTP is TCP/IP based communication protocol, which is used to deliver the data like image files, query results, HTML files etc. on the World Wide Web, www, with the default port is TCP/80. It provides the standardized way for computers to communicate with each other. The basic characteristics of HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol. It is the protocol that allows web servers and browsers to exchange data over the web. It is a request-response protocol. It uses the reliable TCP connections by default on TCP port 80. And it is stateless, means each request is considered as the new request. In other words, server doesn't recognize the user by default. There are three fundamental features that make the HTTP a simple and powerful protocol used for communication. HTTP is media independent. It refers to any type of media content can be sent by HTTP as long as both the server and the client can handle the data content. HTTP is connectionless. It is a connectionless approach in which HTTP client, i.e., a browser, initiates the HTTP request, and after the request is sent, the client disconnects from server and waits for the response. HTTP is stateless. The client and server are aware of each other during a current request only. Afterwards, both of them forget each other. Due to the stateless nature of protocol, neither the client nor the server can retain the information about different requests across the web pages. Now let's discuss what is HTTP requests. The request sends by the computer to a web server that contains all sorts of potentially interesting information is known as HTTP requests. The HTTP client sends the request to the server in the form of request message, which includes following information: the request line, the analysis of source IP address, proxy and port, the analysis of destination IP address, protocol, Port and host. The requested URI, Uniform Resource Identifier. The request method and content. The user agent header. The connection control header. The cache control header. The HTTP request method indicates the method to be performed on the resource identified by the requested URI, Uniform Resource Identifier. This method is case sensitive and should be used in uppercase. Methods of HTTP requests. Two common methods for the request response between a server and client are: GET, it requests the data from a specified resource. POST, it submits the processed data to a specified resource. We will understand GET and POST methods by distinguishing both. It will give you clear knowledge of when to use GET method or POST method. In case of GET request, only limited amount of data can be sent because data is sent in header. But in case of POST request, large amount of data can be sent because data is sent in body. GET request is not secured because data is exposed in URL bar. But POST request is secured because data is not exposed in URL bar. GET request can be bookmarked. But POST request cannot be bookmarked. GET request is idempotent. It means second request will be ignored until response of first request is delivered. But POST request is non-idempotent. GET request is more efficient and used more than POST. But POST request is less efficient and used less than GET. Now let's discuss about Surflay Container. It provides the runtime environment for Java EE, J2EE applications. The client or user can request only static web pages from the server. If the user wants to read the web pages as per input, then the Surflay Container is used in Java. The Surflay Container is used in Java for dynamically generate the web pages on the server side. Therefore, the Surflay Container is the part of a web server that interacts with the Surflay for handling the dynamic web pages from the client. Surflay Container states: the Surflay Container is the part of web server which can be run in a separate process. We can classify the Surflay Container states in three types. Standalone: it is typical Java-based servers in which the Surflay Container and the web servers are the integral part of a single program. For example, Tomcat running by itself. In process: it is separated from the web server, because a different program runs within the address space of the main server as a plugin. For example, Tomcat running inside the JBoss, and out of process, the web server and Surflay Container are different programs which are run in a different process. For performing the communications between them, web server uses the plugin provided by the Surflay Container. The Surflay Container performs many operations that are lifecycle management, multi-threaded support, object pooling, security, etc. Now you must be thinking, what is server? So let's discuss about the servers. Server is a device or a computer program that accepts and responds to the request made by other program, known as client. It is used to manage the network resources and for running the program or software that provides services. There are two types of servers. Web server. Web server contains only web or Surflay Container. It can be used for Surflay, JSP, struts, JSF, etc. It can't be used for EJB. It is a computer where the web content can be stored. In general, web server can be used to host the websites, but there also used some other web servers also, such as FTP, email, storage, gaming, etc. Examples of web servers are Apache Tomcat and Resin, and application server. Application server contains web and EJB containers. It can be used for Surflay, JSP, struts, JSF, EJB, etc. It is a component-based product that lies in the middle tier of a server-centric architecture. Content type. Content type is also known as MIME, Multipurpose Internet Mail Extension, type. It is a HTTP header that provides the description about what are you sending to the browser. MIME is an internet standard that is used for extending the limited capabilities of email by allowing the insertion of sounds, images, and text in a message. The features provided by MIME to the email services are as given below. It supports the non-ASCII characters. It supports the multiple attachments in a single message. It supports the attachment which contains executable audio, images and video files, etc. It supports the unlimited message length. There are many content types. Commonly used content types are shown on your screen. These content types are mostly used. This was all in this session. It will help in understanding servlets, JSPs, or EJB, etc. Hope you enjoyed this session. We will learn servlets in our next session. Keep watching our sessions. Till then, thank you.